Hey Jaguars, Mr. Lar here, back with another video demonstration. This is All I Want for Christmas Is You, Clarinet Part 1. Now, first part clarinet players, there are a couple little tricky secrets you got to know before you try this whole thing. There's a couple parts that even I didn't realize till I was practicing this myself. First things first though, you got to recognize your key signature. You have one sharp, which means all of your Fs, high Fs, low Fs, they're all going to be F sharps, okay? So if you have an F that's on the bottom space, that is going to be first finger F sharp, okay? So no thumb, just first finger F sharp. The other F sharp is a really high F sharp. It's on the very top line. That's going to be second finger F sharp in your right hand. That is thumb with the register key on the back there. Got to cover up the thumb hole, press the register key. 1, 2, 3, and the second finger. So it's going to sound like this. Very high pitched note. And then you have your high G that you have to be ready for too. Okay, all of your B's are going to be B naturals. Okay, that means 9-finger B. You're going to press both of these pinky fingers down with the exception of one, which I'm going to show you here in a second. B natural sounds like this. Make sure you're ready for these upper register notes, okay? High C is the same thing, just lifting up this pinky finger. High D is one less finger than that. High E is this. High E flat, however, is a little different. E flat, which is also D sharp. D sharp you see in measure 45, and then again in measure, what is that, 50 or 49? But anyway, you see that D sharp, it's going to be the same thing as E flat. They are inharmonically the same. So all the fingers, all the holes covered up with this top pinky finger key that you see me pressing down right here. That is also high E flat. You also have a low E flat on the very bottom line. Low E flat is played just like D with the bottom side key. Okay, I know I'm talking really fast, so if you need to pause this, stop, go back and check what I'm talking about, please do. One of the tricks you got to be ready for is this spot at measure 31, 32, and 33. You start with an E flat, which is the note I just described, with this top pinky key, all the other holes covered, and the thumb with the register key all at the same time. So you start with this note at 31. Then you have to switch between E flat and C. Now, instead of trying to switch your pinky finger in your right hand, I'm going to have you switch between this pinky finger in your right hand and this pinky finger right here. It's all the way back. It's the furthest back pinky finger that you have. This is an alternate C fingering, okay? So while you're pressing this E flat, you're going to lift this up and simultaneously put this pinky finger down to get to that C in measure 32, and then you're simply going to lift that up for the D in measure 33. So all put together, it looks and sounds like this. Here it is again. Notice the switch of my pinky fingers here. I have to really reach back to get this pinky finger in my left hand. Starting with E flat again, bottom right pinky finger. Make sure you practice that switch. It happens again at measure 67, 68, and 69. Okay, the same thing happens. You start with that E flat, which is this top pinky finger. C is the bottom one. E flat is the top. This is also D sharp, by the way, as I mentioned before, at 45. Okay. The only other spot you really got to make sure that you're practicing ahead of time to make sure you can get this right is the spot at 53. You're holding this high G. And then it crescendos, and then you got to be ready for this syncopated rhythm at measure 56, 57, 58, 59, and it sounds like this. Then you land back up on D for 61, okay? That took me several tries just to get it that good, and even that was a little shaky, okay? So make sure you practice this well in advance before you try and do your real recording. When you do the real recording, do not use an external speaker to run the guide track through, okay? The guide track is what you have to record with. It's got a special clap at the beginning that you have to do. I'm going to demonstrate that here in a minute, but don't run the guide track through a speaker. Make sure it's running through some earbuds or some headphones, because we don't want to hear the people talking about the instructions in the beginning or the measure markers as it goes through. That's there to help you, but we don't want to hear that in the recording. So make sure you're running that through some headphones or earbuds. We only want to hear and see you when you do your recording, okay? I've got my phone set up in landscape mode, which is the way you got to do it too, okay? Don't wear a silly hat like this though. That's just for fun and to help me keep the video straight, okay? So here we go. Listen to the instructions at the beginning and we're going to try the whole thing.
All right, the first thing we're going to do is line up our audio and video with a clap. You'll hear one measure of metronome, you'll hear me count you in, and then we're going to clap together on beat 1. Make sure that your hands are very visible in the video and that you're clapping right in time. Here we go. And 1, 2, ready, and clap. All right, if you missed it, go ahead and restart the video and try again.
Gotta get the clap.
Now let's get ready to perform. Make sure that your head, shoulders, and instrument are clearly visible. You're going to hear one measure of metronome, one measure of count off, and then we're in at the beginning of All I Want for Christmas Is You. Here we go. And 1, 2, ready, play. You're all done.
All right, so definitely not perfect. There were a couple wrong notes in there, but not bad, okay? If you can get a pretty close to perfect recording, that's great. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. That's the benefit of doing these recordings. You can get as many takes as you like, keep your best take. The first time at 31 and 32, I missed that right or that left finger C switch from the right finger E flat. Make sure you work on that so you can get a little bit better than I did. And then again, I had a little bit of a flub at measure 48. I had to be ready to do a left finger B natural to the D sharp, which is also the E flat. Okay, so work on those trouble spots before you make your official recording. Give it a couple tries and good luck to you. Okay, hopefully this helps. Have a good one, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.